Frustrating, infuriating, disgusting, you name the word. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm WatchUK99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. You know, even during the whole month of October, which has been a pretty successful one for the Jets, certainly in terms of their record, when they went on this 3-game win streak, it was obvious they were not playing complementary football, where all three phases of the team are working. The defense has been really good. Special teams, they have been dynamic. But this offense has been right up there with the absolute worst in the NFL. You knew if the offense didn't figure something out, if they didn't turn something around, eventually it would come back to bite them. And boy, oh boy, it has, as it did Monday night in a 27-6 loss in a big game to the San Diego, Los Angeles, whatever the hell you want to call them, Chargers. And what's so crazy about this game, a lot of the overall statistics are pretty close. The Jets had 17 first downs, the Chargers 14. Total yards, the Jets had 270, the Chargers just 191. Time of possession, the Jets had the ball 34-27, the Chargers under 26 minutes. But then you look at the same things that have been hurting this team all year long. Third downs. You know, here's the crazy thing. The Jets converted 2 of their first 3 third downs in this game. And then but overall for the game, 3 for 17. So they started 2 for 3 and then went 1 for their next 14. Chargers, on the other hand, converted 7 out of 16 third down opportunities. As much as we give praises to the defense, and they deserve a lot, they continue to struggle on third down. Zach Wilson sacked 8 times. The Jets take 8 penalties, and how many killer penalties were there in this game? And believe me, when we get to the top 3 plays that you may not remember that affected the outcome of the game, I'm going to be talking a lot about penalties. 3 turnovers in the game. And one of the things I was worried about, the Chargers, you know, a lot of people say Chargers are going to Charger. Well, one thing they haven't been doing is turning the ball over. And in this game, the Chargers took the ball away 3 times, and we've seen, you know, when the Jets don't take the ball away, aside from the game against the Giants, they lose. And they could not take the ball away from San Diego. And even when the Jets had a chance to create a turnover, they never took advantage. Did you like Michael Clemens? You know, the ball gets knocked loose, and Michael Clemens trying to be the hero. He's trying to do a scoop and score as if he picked the ball up. He'd actually be able to run to the end zone. Fall on the ball, will you please, Michael? Johnfranklinmyers twice bats a pass in the air. By the way, JFM, fantastic game. He bats the passes up in the air. No Jets are in position. If this was a team like the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, they'd be right there in position to take it away. And as far as Zach Wilson goes, you know, the verdict is in. You know, he is just so easy to rattle, and every team knows it. He has no idea what to do. He has no football awareness. You can tell me he's not surrounded by a good play caller. He's not surrounded by a lot of great talent. That's all well and good. This guy has the football IQ of frozen yogurt. What about that 3rd down and 8? Remember that? He had running room. By the way, Zach barely still ever tries to run, even though he does have mobility. He's got basically the first down in front of him, and he pitches the ball over to his right to Michael Carter, and there's a defender closing in on him, and the Jets can't get the first down. Zach, run with the ball. No one to run, no one to throw. No one to hold him, no one to fold him. And it's about so much more than the quarterback, though, in this game. Breecehall did nothing in this game. 16 carries for 50 yards. We know the only time this offense really ever scores is when Breece breaks one, and the Chargers were not going to let that happen. But hey, I hope Breece is happy he got to wear his black pants. That's what he's concerned about. Come on. And I love Breece, but come on. But please, we're worried about pants. How about coming up with some play calls that can work? Rather than, hey, and that's straight to Nathaniel Hackett. Can we do a little bit more than send Breece right up the middle for a gain of 2? They're using him like Dalvin Cook. And this offensive line, OMG. Billy Turnstiles in at right tackle. That was a great idea, wasn't it? 10 pressures allowed by Billy Turnstiles. He's trying to block Joey Bosa, who I can't stand now. It was like Colin Baxter way back, subbing for Nick Mangold when he got hurt, trying to block Haloti Nada after Mangold got hurt. Max Mitchell at guard, oh boy, that was a great idea. Man, this was just beyond frustrating because the Jets, the more I heard about it after Buffalo, Miami, and New England all lost on Sunday, I got to hear Jet fans, pardon my throat, I got to hear Jet fans just saying everything's right there in place for them. They got every opportunity. And the truth is, they really had to take advantage of this because if you look at the rest of the teams in the AFC, all these teams that the Jets are hypothetically competing with for a wild card, they all won. Pittsburgh, Houston, the Raiders, Cleveland, Cincinnati, all these teams won. The Jets' true path to the playoffs might be the division. It actually might be easier to win the division than to win a wild card. You can make that case. But this offense has looked the exact same for a month now. 8 offensive touchdowns in 8 games. That's an NFL offense. And you know what? I love Joe Douglas. I'm going to get to him in a moment. And as great as he has done developing this defense, great job acquiring talent, it has been that bad with the offense. Now, I know everything was supposed to be based around Aaron Rodgers. I know that. But some of the players he has brought in, Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, Billy freaking Turner, Dalvin Cook, all these players meant to appease to Aaron Rodgers. It just shows you how great Rodgers was, especially with the first 3 for all those years. Just how great he was because he took crap and made it actually look like it's an NFL caliber player. All these no-names, they left Aaron Rodgers and were never heard from again. Ever, ever, ever. And again, that just speaks to how great Aaron Rodgers truly is. All right, let's get into the 3 key plays you may not remember that affected the outcome of the game. First, Jets offensive possession. Of course, the Jets had forced a 3-and-out, and man, the crowd is buzzing. Man, the crowd came to make some noise. So the Jets have a 2nd and 6 at their own, I don't know where they were, between the 20 and 30-yard line. They're 28-29, I guess it was. And cjuzomah runs a little escape route, and he's got to step on the defender, and Zach absolutely airmails the pass into the Chargers bench. Right then and there, I knew this game was going to stink, and this offense was going to go nowhere. Zach Wilson absolutely did not have it, and on that first airmail pass, which should have absolutely been a first down, he airmails it about a half a mile over Uzomah's head. And then you get an incompletion on 3rd down, and then right after that comes the punt return touchdown, and the air immediately goes right out of MetLife Stadium. The first special teams breakdown the Jets have had all season. The Jets are in an early hole, and right then and there, you knew how much trouble they were in this game. Play number 2. There's 2:03 to go in the first quarter. Now, the Jets are down 14-0, and they need an answer. After giving up 14 points in the first quarter, there's another thing the Jets haven't figured out, how to actually start well in the first quarter. The Jets may get better and better as the game goes by. When it comes out of the blocks, they typically stink. So it's a 2nd and 10. And the handoff to Breecehall, and he gets probably his best run of the day for 14 yards. But oh no, no, we can't have that. Allen Lazard, how about this guy? He gets called for an illegal shift because he's running in motion to the right, and he never got set. Allen, you're a veteran. What are you, an idiot? Allen Lazard is horrific. 4 years, $44 million we paid for him. Oh, and he also had a holding penalty on a drive in the third quarter, too, to hurt a drive there. The only reason the Jets overcame that is because on the third down, Derwin James has a pass interference. That's the only reason that drive wasn't a 3-and-out. Drop, penalty, repeat. Drop, penalty, repeat. Drop, penalty, repeat. That's all Allen Lazard has done here. He has been a joke. And that, again, for all the negativity people wanted to throw at Corey Davis, at least Corey Davis was a competent starting NFL wide receiver. Without Aaron Rodgers, Allen Lazard belongs in the XFL. And I love Joe Douglas. I will defend Joe Douglas to any critic on social media, on YouTube. I will defend him, but I'm gonna be fair. Signing Allen Lazard may be the second biggest mistake he has ever made, and giving him those 4 years, only behind drafting Zach Wilson. Chad Pennington, my guy. Chad Pennington. You know Pennington is my guy, always will be. Chad, if you're watching, on behalf of the Jets organization, as if I represent them, I apologize for besmirching the number 10, because you don't deserve your number to be disgraced by this absolute stiff of a wide receiver. Play number 3. Now let's go to the third quarter. The Jets have gotten a field goal. They forced a 3-and-out. It's early in the third quarter. They're down 11 points. They still have a chance. And they go on this long drive here, 10 plays, close to 6 minutes. That's about as close to a sustained drive as the Jets could possibly have. Now on this drive, they converted a third down. They've even converted a fourth down. Now they've got a 3rd and 3 on the San Diego 32-yard line. Well within field goal range for Greg Zuerlein. All right? And JeremyRuckert, who we all want to see play more, right? The Long Island kid, want to see this guy play. He gets called for a false start. Another inexcusable lack of discipline, lack of focus pre-snap penalty. And this is why cjuzomah plays as much, if not more, than JeremyRuckert. Because Uzomah actually knows how to play football, even if he's not the most talented player in the world. So to all the Uzomah critics out there, they know who they are. You know, he lives in their head rent-free, saying he doesn't do anything well, he doesn't do anything well. You know the guys I'm talking about. At least Uzomah doesn't make stupid mistakes, aside from the one drop he had in the end zone, but that's another story. And on the next play after that false start, so the 3rd and 3 is now a 3rd and 8. Far, far more challenging. And on the next play, joeybosa sacked Zach for a loss of 15, and they are out of field goal range, and they have to punt. And then right after that, the Chargers go on that 16-play drive that took over 8 minutes off the clock. They kick a field goal, and you might as well have turned out the green glowing lights in MetLife Stadium. This was an embarrassment by this offense. They were, let's be real, this team was all but done. The crowd was done after that first punt return, and everyone knew it, and ESPN had to find the same, 10 Charger fans in the stadium to zoom in on. The Jets, to win this game, they had to get up early. They had to tee off on Justin Herbert, and it never, ever happened. But, hey, look on the bright side. They finally got their roughing the passer call. After about 600 and, I believe, almost 90 days it took. But they finally got their roughing the passer call. That's about the most positive thing I've got for you. The defense, look, they did their job for the most part. They were fine. You know, even though this will go down as a 27-6 final score, we know 14 of those points are on the offense and on the special teams because of the Zach fumble that was returned to the 2-yard line and the punt return touchdown. No takeaways again. The third downs are still an issue. 50% of the third downs were converted. And I thought they tackled well. I thought they created enough pressure on Herbert. They really contained Herbert as they've done, again, to very good quarterbacks. They did enough to win this game. But again, when you watch the same offense again and again and again, and there are seemingly no changes, when you have a compromised offensive line, a quarterback with next to no football IQ, and you only have one wide receiver who can really gain separation, it's pretty hard to come up with a game plan that's going to work. And now it's on to the Raiders next Sunday night, which is a must-win game. Now, I know after the Kansas City game, I said in those next 5 games, I wanted 4-1. Now the Jets are 3-1 in those games, but one of the losses is against one of the teams you could ill afford to lose to in the Chargers, because now they got the head-to-head tiebreaker in this alleged playoff race. All right, the Jets have got to beat the Raiders, who are feeling themselves up a little bit. They got the cigars out in the locker room. They're making it look like a freaking, I don't know what, like a rave party on a college campus if you look at the Raiders' locker room. I'm hoping the Raiders are coming in overconfident, but can you imagine Max Crosby last night watching this game? He's probably there in his recliner. He's probably got one hand down his pants, feeling himself up. It's like, I get to go against these guys on Sunday? I might win Defensive Player of the Year next week. Guys, I'm worried about where we go from here. Because why should I think every Jets game, it's the same pattern. Defense does a good enough job, but the offense can never take advantage of it. And if the defense does not force turnovers, it's scary. Now, I do have a little encouragement. They're going against a quarterback playing only his second game. But man, oh man, this was a tough one. This was a tough, frustrating loss, and seriously, by the end of the first quarter, I wanted to fast forward my life 2 hours and just end it, because I knew that this game was not going to be good. And it's the same offense for 5 weeks, and Nathaniel Hackett should get down on his knees and kiss Aaron Rodgers' feet, good foot, bad foot, whichever foot he wants, because Aaron Rodgers is the only reason Nathaniel Hackett hasn't had his ass kicked out the door. Blame Hackett, blame Wilson, blame the offensive line, blame the playmakers, blame Joe Douglas, blame everybody for this offense, because everybody deserves it. Blame Robert Saleh too. Now they're still 500. But this is an offense that is going to absolutely prevent them from being the playoff caliber team that they should be when you look at the other two parts of this team. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you for Wednesday Night Live, 10 p.m. Please join me, and we'll be here from you know where, the Wicker Chair.